it in a lot of ways is a working class art form. I mean, if you look at the role that spoken word had in the miners' strike or black rights activism in America, or even back to medieval times, I mean, it could bring down whole kingships, you know. It is rooted in struggle, which is, to me, class.
Head held high, I think of her, and how she said we shared this cityscape. But she writes about Mark Twain, and I talk about life, mate. She chose to be here, when all I can do is stay.
It is a wee bit isolated. It's not great in terms of if you want to get a bus out, you know, there's one row of shops. And I think that's quite often where you get the kind of social issues and things in these areas, fundamentally down to boredom. It didn't do me any harm. It actually probably did me a favour in a lot of ways, I think. There's a humour that comes from it, there's a black humour, I think, that comes from people that grow up in certain areas where they're able to laugh at their own kind of hardships and everybody else's as well. And it's difficult to talk about it in a way that can show it in a positive light. So I tend not to, because I think that's a disservice, because it's not fair. I started playing in bands when I was a teenager. If people ask me what my influences are, it's never a poet, it's like Joe Strummer or something. Sometimes just the odd lines come into my head, like words or imagery that I want to use, and it'll just spark something that starts flowing. Quite often, if I've been on nights out, a lot of the stuff that I hear, like in local pubs and a bit of banter and things, that influences me quite a bit. At the time I started performing spoken word, I wasn't working, and I was a single mum, and I'd had quite a change in my life. I had a young kid, and I was just trying to find something to do, really. So I was just reading what I wrote, and actually it was other poets that started booking me for nights. I never set out to do that. There used to be a night in Glasgow in a cafe called the Blue Chair that's not there now, and they used to have an open mic, and I could take my kid to it, so I would get him a bit of cake, we would watch some poems, and then it would give me my 5 minutes, and that's kind of how I got into it.
This college land is some skin job hallucination. Bright lights and whitewashed shite. You see Glasgow swallowed the red pill and I'll cough it up come Sunday. And I treaded the floorboards last night, counted ceiling stars twinkling in a ballroom night. I shared a roller disco with rock gods and serial killers alike, then watched it down to rebel tunes in a dying marketplace. And head held high, I think of her and how she said we shared this cityscape. But she writes about Mark Twain, and I talk about life, mate. She chose to be here, when all I can do is stay.
So the piece I performed, it's about authenticity, it's about the difference between being from somewhere and it being all that you can write about. The amount of people, sometimes I reference place names in poetry, the amount of folk that come up and go, oh, are you from there as well? You know, that's what it's about. I do think that in terms of the spoken word scene, there's no many people in the spoken word scene that come from the East End of Glasgow. And that was something that I was very aware of when I'd started performing, that what I was talking about wasn't being represented in the nights that I was necessarily going to. But then you were getting people coming up to at the end and saying, you know, that happened to my sister, or that's my friend, or I love that pub. I love having the person in the audience who does understand that and that does represent them. Because then you know you've made them feel something. You think they're going to reflect on that, even if it's for the 5 minutes after you walk off stage.